Porta, like Italian for king. That's the name of the art gallery.
Oh, is it an art gallery? It's a lovely set.
So usually don't be full of people.
Probably better.
Hi Tines.
Gloria, I can't really see.
Ako se ne gase, ne trebam ni
Yeah,
pričati.
can't really see. I hope it's okay.
So, do you like the ending, how it ends?
No. What, the
It's
series?
rushed.
The whole thing, it felt like, so episodes where she torched the beach was amazing. All of the episodes in the last season in the run up, little fingers stroke was amazing. Last episode, I must report people about it's like they couldn't be bothered. It's like they couldn't be bothered to finish it. They go, you know what? We're just gonna ride off. It was so
They got an offer to work in Star Wars, and that's why they wanted to have the I work in Star Wars as well. Final episode. Jon Snow is finally here because Wall is Iceland, everything in the north is Northern Ireland, and then they moved King's Landing from here to Spain, and then Big Battle was filmed in Ireland. So he was not here much. And he says bye bye to his brother and sisters.
nice?
I didn't speak with him, I saw him. I was more
say no.
focused
You
on-
wouldn't say no when I was
I would, not my type of, my kids steal Jon Snow photos.
Yeah, Jon
They like people with curly hair. But, do you know who is Pedro Pascal, guys? Pedro Pascal from Chile. He was a Prince Ober in Martel from Dorn. Mountain squeeze his brain through his eyes, but he's in everything else. So I show you two scenes inside. I will give you 10 minutes free time to take amazing photos. You can see incredible views, and we did the airport and goes to going here. And then it's a bathroom I will show you.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just
Start drinking.
Ciao. Do it in the car is different than
You want me to take
sit
it?
in the car.
Yeah, I kind of
Air
want to.
condition, no sweating, no
Scenery
stairs.
as well, I don't know if you
no
can actually
Croatian
get it
people, no
see
tourists,
because
just
it's beautiful
nature.
color. Very
You go on a hill because it's King's Road, you take beautiful photos of Dubrovnik. You go in the stand of a Botanical Garden, 20 kilometers outside. But no restaurant here, no pizza cut, fruits, water, snacks, supermarkets, nothing. Like,
ما تزال المنظر الشورى كان هذا يتم تطور جدا اشوفك انه تسوي اشياء في نفس
and the dark, and nobody recognized him without hand in dirty clothes.
Poor Jamie.
He has a hand.
Remember all these scenes? Yes.
Remember when they said bye-bye Marcella on a beach with kayaks? Now they are returning to Red Keep Castle where we went up, but they want to avoid stairs. So what did they do? After Red Keep, after beach, they came here. Joffrey, Hound, Gold Clocks, later Sansa, Cersei. They were all here. We are physically standing right here in this corner now. And poor people, Croatian people, extras. They are playing poor people, small folk, peasants. They are hungry and angry because of expensive wars between Lannisters and Stars. And they were standing there and throwing fake cow shit, tomatoes, shoes on Joffrey. 3 men took Sansa. They wanted to rape her, and Hound rescued her. So riot scene was filmed here.
Really, they were Croatians that were.
When you take local people to be
You can't bring in this town. Even though I don't know how the sun is.
Nothing was ever filmed here. And this is where you go on a walk. You pay entrance.
Oh, it's lovely.
This is where you get on the wall. This is where you buy a ticket. And you walk anti-clockwise, yes. And you finish where you started. You can't turn wrong. If you go on a wall, it's 35, and then castle is free. If you never go to castle, it's still 35. But I will show you other videos. Are you fans of Star Wars? Star Wars, one of these new movies, The Last Jedi, was filmed here, casino scene. Disney spent $10 million for 10 nights of filming, and then you blink twice and you miss it. It's a 3-hour-long movie, you need to blink. And 10 nights filming, people that live on Main Street receive 200 euros per window per day just to keep their window closed while they were filming. And then 40 seconds of Dubrovnik in a movie. They put lights on this fountain, it's night scene, and they build this physically. But winter time, February, when everything is closed anyway. And the little souvenir shops on Main Street, I will show you how they look like. Oh, okay.
Like Porto.
Yes. And then they came here for new Robin Hood. English people say this does not look like Nottingham. It's expensive city for filming. It's made from stone. And then look what they did. They covered the entire city in wood. So what's the point of coming here if you don't need stone? And it's a weird movie. Jamie Foxx is Little John, Taron Egerton from Kingsman is young Robin Hood, and Jamie Dormer from 50 Shades of Grey, he was main evil guy. But something was weird with script. I tried to watch the movie twice, and I fell asleep watching it, and they didn't save any money in filming. So they used again big fountain. This is big me, 8 months pregnant. Jamie Foxx and Robin Hood chasing someone somewhere. My daughter is always looking for this photo. I'm here, I'm important as well. And then she steals Jon Snow photos.
You look at Jamie Foxx and go, ooh.
And then we had some Bollywood movies. If you like movies from India, they have the same guy in every movie. His name is Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
So they were all without naked ladies, and they all used Main Street, and they all come during winter time. But Game of Thrones, August, naked Cersei riding a horse. At the end, it never happened because of church land.
So Bolly, they can't film Bolly.
Lannister was killed by Tyrion. Tyrion shot his dad by crossbow on toilet, and that's somewhere in studio. But funeral is here. Cersei standing somewhere down. See, this is Cersei, and she's going upstairs in a church that doesn't exist. This window and arch is just there. When I go back home, if someone doesn't give me a lift, I use city bus. I don't know how to drive a car. And then I forget to flip over the page. I carry groceries, I talk on the phone. And then Croatian people see me.
If we ask you very kindly, do you think you could take a photo standing on the steps, obviously dressed?
Repeat again.
Yeah, if you don't mind, if I kindly ask you to take a photo.
To take picture of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Holding something.
And dressed, yeah, it's going to be everything just censored.
Will you hold my photo or without photo?
Would you like the photo or not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do two. One
Let's
with
do
and
one with.
one without.
There is a lot of sun.
Oh, it's stuck in my hand. Okay. Let me take one now. I'll put them on.
They have the real one.
Meters tall and 100 degrees inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ik denk dat dit een gevaar is. This is just.
Ja, en ook maar boring. Maar de rest van maar ze zitten met zo'n café op aan het stelplaat.
Oh, maar
side you can see the landscape. The landscape is called the River of Dubrovnik. We have like 15 kilometers of a circle, 6 villages that are making the biggest concentration of inhabitants next to Dubrovnik. We're talking about 15k living in this area here on the right. That's actually the river. So the river is crossing with the Adriatic Sea on the left.
Okay.
And on the left is the cleanest sea of the whole Europe. We just won the award 1 month ago. So, we saw the Karaka ship, the replica in the port. But actually, Karaka was used in many different scenes of Game of Thrones. We can see that the plant is right there on the left. They had a carpet. The plastic wall is still there from the previous scene. They just had Sansa and the Karaka ship. The same spot, the plastic wall is still there to cover the stainless steel. We have Varys trying to pay shade to leave Tyrion, if you remember. And again, we had the Karaka ship in the end. Now I want to show you the garage and the house of this family. Fun, they were traveling or doing anything. So that was the garage. You can see the gate. That gate was actually the entrance for the family's summer terrace, and the biggest villa on the top, it's actually the villa where they've been living. So the house here that we have in the garden, it was actually for the gardeners. Why? Because I told you that this garden is from the 15th century, and if you didn't know, basically we didn't have slaves in the 15th century here. Why? because Republic Dubrovnik in the 14th century was the first European country who relieved the slaves and forbidding slavery and being the first one to do some democracy in Europe. So they had really workers. Right now they have a lot of workers. Now it's of the government. Somehow the family disappeared without anyone to heritage this. So now it's the part of the government and the locals, villagers, we're taking care of this place. And the farming department, because we have a lot of rare plants and herbs and trees from all over the globe that was brought in a long time ago. So we don't want to lose this. You can see the Velveety Islands on our way in front of. I don't know what we don't have in these villages. Californian palm trees. Right here, where you have the purple leaves up. Yeah. That's exactly, we can see the beginning of that. We can recognize the flower above that. We can recognize the red on the right side, but it's a lot of CGR was happening right here. Now Arterium and Sunset. Gate of the neighbors. So the village, it's called Trsteno. Arboretum, it's called Trsteno. Trsteno, it's a village famous actually for captains. So you have a lot of people around here that they own the house. They used to be captains on the big cargo ships or the big cruise ships. The reason because they had the biggest paychecks. So the most beautiful house was built by them. Right here. First of all, check this please. Can you believe that this thing was brought in from Japan and planted in the 1900s? Can you believe that this thing survived the sailing route from Japan to here and it was still here? Unbelievable. They covered the cross, they had a couple tables, a couple plants. Now in the corner we have our Lady Elena, Margaret, and Sansa. Look how they added just the chair in front of the crack so they can hide a crack in there. They add the plants on every place so this can all look perfect. A table, 3 chairs, 3 actors, and we have a scene. So what they need maybe 15 minutes to prepare these scenes. That's the fastest that they can do it. As well, we have Margaret and Sansa sitting down there. They did a lot of scenes on this terrace. Then we have again in this corner. Then they changed the corner just to put it in the middle.
Right.
Now remember that I told you that was the gate for the summer terrace of this royal family. First of all, on the gate we have Cersei and Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
That's exactly down there, that gate down there that we are looking at in them hand hand. Recognize because of this. They just add the plants above the gate of the entrance. And behind that, I told you that there is a summer terrace. Well, on the summer terrace that they had, this family, look now, in the 15th century, we had the mosaic around this place. So this is no CGR. So the mosaic disappeared, but staying there for a long time, he left this shape that we have on the floor. So that's the famous terrace where Jamie was training his arm. the most interesting thing for me, can you believe this? So it's 15th century and you're a royal family. Look now what this family had. A bathtub in the 15th century right here. Next to that, they had the pool with stainless steel gate. You open the gate, you get in the water, the Adriatic Sea. You close, evaporation, you produce the own sun. They had this garden that is above, with many different plants and herbs and different things. And then a chapel that we're going to see a little later, and an apple. This is great. Even Hollywood has worse than this family in the 15th century. This was like a dream.
Yeah.
This place is almost not touched. That's the main reason why they choose to come to this place. They didn't have to play with the set at all. The only thing that they did here, they add sunset in front of the root, so we don't see the root in the scene. They add a wall with plants behind this palm tree, so they can have much more plants. And that's it. When Sansa got the poison necklace, it's exactly here. We can see, recognize the entrance on the left, the table on the right, everything is basically the same. Palm tree on the right and the left are the same height after 10 years. They're 10 years in the shade. Even the layer, the right there, that we can see it. Because this is the only part that has some sun. It's a very beautiful place. This kind of sacred place, you know, usually when you have this on the corners, the statues and that type of table was the place where usually we put the holy book or some worship. You can see how they are the plastic statues. We can recognize the palm tree on the right. And there is a lot of CGI happening right here. As well, they had a plastic statue in front of these bushes of King Joffrey. And on the left of there, between this bush and between this palm tree, we have Lady Diana and Margaret. And the plastic statue, of course, of its fate. Actually paper made. Can you believe that? It's a carton, man. How they've been playing. Now I want to explain you the name, why we have the name Dubrovnik. The city of Dubrovnik, the city of oak trees. The area was full of oak trees. Oak trees are perfect material to build ships and construction. So that's why in the 6th century when they started to build the walls, the first shaped walls was wooden. And that's why they had the biggest fleet of ships. But we run out of oak trees. Why? I told you that the ruler of Mediterranean was Venice. And I told you that they had to pay the taxes to be independent. But when Venetians, they realized these guys, they have 185 ships. And they have still oak trees to build much more. They decide to change the law. Cut all the oak trees, bring to us. So they're secure that they will never be able to build up a larger fleet of that they already have
Right.
to take over the ruler.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this is a downy oak. That means he's a midget one. And he doesn't have 26 meters like he's riding. You need to know that oak trees, they have the same length underneath. And this one is pretty old. It's from the 1920. And now we can recognize how somebody was just playing with this, making like a hole. It's looking almost like a helmet
Yeah.
of the Roman Empire, perhaps. But this is actually an ancient, classic Roman aqueduct that's coming from the top of the hill, reaching down here and finishing, of course, in the sea. They need an aqueduct. It's a huge place. Has couple acres. Huge place. You don't even see how big it is. We have another one seen and then 3 times. Is it 15, 20 minutes okay?
Perfect.
So remember, raise the toilet. I'm heading that way. I'll be
Okay.
there. Then together we can go up.
Okay.
So you can have a little walk perhaps and then go there. Now we are heading above the city on the mountain. We have another couple scenes and then I'm taking you to the most beautiful view of the city. the Ottomans, they needed their army, so they pulled out this army that was in the area of Montenegro downhill, and they went away. And the Serbians, they decide to finally get down and to make a new country and to call it the darkness of the mountain, Montenegro. So people from Montenegro are Serbian nation, Orthodox religion, and they're talking Serbian language. Now, in the 1925, Croatia gets out of Austro-Hungarian Empire and becomes independent Republic Croatia. Until the 40s. In the 40s, the Balkan gets united and Yugoslavia gets formed and born. So we're talking about Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, Serbia, Albania and Kosovo, and Macedonia. 7 different countries united together for more than 45 years. 3 different religions. Muslims that are Bosnians. We are Catholics, and Orthodox are Serbian in Montenegro. The rest, they can be Catholic, they can be Orthodox, they can be Muslim. They're divided. Now, the capital city of Yugoslavia was based in Serbia. Belgrade was actually the capital city of Yugoslavia. Belgrade today is the capital city of Serbia. Official language, Croatian mixed with Serbian. We've been under the leadership of the strong dictator of communists and socialists. Josip Broz was his name, and he was a Croatian guy, and he was ruling for more than 45 years. His nickname is much more famous than actually his name in the surname. His nickname was Marshal Tito. Tito was his nickname. When you want to make order, you do that, you do that. And you want to say it in the Slavic language, you say Tito, Tito. You do that. That's his nickname. That's how he gets the nickname. Making orders, just orders. So Tito did a great job. In 45 years of his leadership, Yugoslavia becomes the 5th biggest power existing in the world for military, financially, industry, producing. They've been producing many different things. And we together, 7 countries, we've been more than 30 million people together. Right now, Croatia has only 3.8. The biggest problem was, let's say, not the biggest problem, but you need to know the communism was that you were not allowed to declare yourself. So that means if you're Croatian living in Croatia, you're not allowed to say it. You are actually Yugoslavian and you're living in Yugoslavia. If you say different, you will probably disappear or finish in jail. Socialism was amazing because they provide you everything, whatever you need. They provide you a job, and after 4 years working in a company, they provide you an apartment for free that you can do whatever you want. So it doesn't matter which college degree you have, it doesn't matter which job and position you're doing, you will get the apartment for free, like everybody else got it. Today, me, like a young person in Dubrovnik working seasonal job, I can never get a mortgage. And the average apartment that I want to buy, it's 1 million euro. So never possible to happen. That's the big difference of today and in the old times. Everybody was available to afford and have an apartment, place to live and stay and make kids and wife and family. When Tito died in the late 80s, Yugoslavia started to divide. Actually, the Croatians sent a notification to Yugoslavia that they want to get out, they want to become independent, have their own language. But that means that they want to get out with their Adriatic Sea that they brought in the 40s. The Serbians didn't like the idea to lose the ports for cargo ships, lose the sea, lose the wine and the olive oil, lose the tourism of the country. So they decided to come to Montenegro to ask them to join the forces with the same mission, attack every single ex-country in Yugoslavia, and try to make it a new country called Big Serbia. And that's what happens. In 91, they get united and they made the first attack to Republic Croatia. In 92, they attacked the Bosnians as well. The war was 4 years without stopping, so basically until the 95. In the 95, Croatians made the last mission called Storm to clean up the country of aggressors and send them away home, becoming Republic Croatia independent. The Bosnians, they get relief as well in the 95. We've been helping each other. We've been attacked by the same people. But the Serbians, when they lost the war with us and with Bosnians, they went to attack Republic Kosovo. 1 million population country. And that's the moment that actually You get in. You build up American Air Force Base near Venice, Aviano Air Force Base, where I grew up and finished my elementary school in Italy, to send a couple bombs to prevent and stop the war in Kosovo and give them independence and freedom to Kosovo. That was in the 99. Since that time, the Balkans is a very peaceful and normal place. Since 2008, Croatia is the part of European Union, and since the 1st of January, we are having official currency euro. Just 9 months, and we have inflation of 37% in these 9 months. Only us and Slovenia, we are the only two ex-countries of Yugoslavia today being a part of European Union and NATO.
Lots of buses, aren't there?
Yeah. A lot of buses, a lot of tax license. The biggest problem of the city of the crowd is actually that every house has 3 cars and 2 motorbikes.
Yeah.
And there is 8,000 taxi licenses and 4,000 buses. And another problem, going to the south 50 kilometers, I told you that we have a border with Montenegro.
Right.
Well, going another 200 kilometers south, Montenegro has a border with Albania. Another south, we have the Greek. Every single Greek, Montenegro, and Albanian person who is living in Italy, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Slovenia, if they want to go home in their home country, they need to pass Dubrovnik to reach it. So that's why it's always crowded. Forget to mention, your White House. Do you know from where the stone is coming?
From where what?
From where the white stone of the White House is coming? Do you know?
No, I do not know.
From Island Brač, 45 minutes away from my hometown Split.
Oh,
Croatia has a very good white stone, even marble. A lot of them.
that was a long way to bring it from there to.
Yeah.
Should have gone west. Done further.
We in Italians, we have a very good white stone.
Dead car.
This is the ruins in the back. We can recognize how they fake it that this is King's Landing, but the King's Landing actually on the top, it's actually cable car station building right there. Up.
Right.
We can see the granny that get the biggest money that she ever dreamed about that in she's life that she will earn it. How? Well, 10 years ago, average Croatian paycheck was 500 euro for a month. When she was 20 years old, it was maybe 200 euro. She got 500 euro for a day to walk with 2 goats that she usually does for free because she's a neighbor around this place. She's living. to conclude our tour, we have the King's Road. Jamie laid it behind. They just covered the road with all of these things that they find on the ground,
Yeah.
and that's it. So they had to run away 20 kilometers on the north. They came here and they started to build the first houses on Ragusa. The first name of the city was Ragusa Ragusium. Ragusa actually means cliff because they've been so scary, like they lost the land 20 kilometers on the south, they decide to build the houses on the cliff, surrounded by the Adriatic Sea, so they're much more secure. Then, slowly, they enlarge, build much more house, until they build the main street. The main street is the longest street and the main connection with the land. So, the main street is called Stradone, and it's coming from the Italian word strada. That means the road. Before that, before being a main road and main street, that was just a channel. Wherever you go, you have to climb up. Then, in the 6th century, when they become independent, in the 6th century, they slowly start to build the wooden walls. I told you why. Because the name of Dubrovnik, the city of Dub, they had a lot of oak trees. But when they become independent and they lost this wood, they lost this tree because they had to send it to Venice.
Right.
They paid a guy, architect,
Oh, bless you.
from Venice. They bring a guy from Venice, an architect, to build up this shape. So what he did, he built up a fort on every angle. So in 2 kilometers of the circle, we have 4 forts. And we have the 5th one that is outside that you're supposed to today visit with Katia, with your guy beer, you see. So we only had the north gate and the south gate until the 19th century. In the 19th century, all the jobs existing was inside of the walls. So they made a hall on the east side to have the 3rd gate for the people that they can get in quicker and get out quicker. Because until the 19th, they only had the north and the south, and that was too much people for just 2 gates to get in and get out. Then, do you see the little fort next to the sandy beach? So, Republic Dubrovnik was the first European country who invented quarantine. Quarantine is coming from the word Latino quarenta, that means 40 days of quarantine. That's how they survived the Spanish flu. So the first COVID-19 that we had in our historical times. Who gets infected and they see and recognize that they can save him, they kick him out and put it in the fort. If they see that there is no saving, they'll leave them on the little islands on the left. Whoever wanted to visit the country of Dubrovnik, you're not bringing any disease to them. Then, the reason we have a lot of cats around the city, they brought in the cats, so they keep us out the mouse and rats, that there's well big disease spreader. Then, Republic Dubrovnik was the first European country who started pharmacy. Basically, one of the oldest pharmacies still in function, it's inside of Dubrovnik. The first democracy, I told you, in the 14th century, the first European country who relieves the slaves and forbidding slavery was Republic Dubrovnik. The biggest fleet of ships existing on the Mediterranean was Republic Dubrovnik. The first European country who accepted independence of United States of America was the Republic Dubrovnik. Can you believe that? They did such a big thing, a very small country just inside of the city walls, surviving for so many centuries, making alliance with many different countries. Now, the best picture, you just have to be around this place here. Just turn around yourself, that's it.